Hey everybody, welcome to the March Builder Town Hall, the gold award-winning Builder Town Hall. How awesome is that? Welcome to what we're calling the Gold Award edition of Builder Town Hall. I am joined by an amazing panel of experts and home building gurus today, and we can't wait to bring their expertise straight to you. Builder Town Hall is a monthly live stream talk show, and anybody in the industry, whether you work for a builder, a supplier, anything in between, everybody is welcome in Builder Town Hall. You can also participate in our online Facebook group, as well as these monthly Zooms. This is being recorded and will be posted in the Facebook group following. So if you need to catch up or you want to watch another segment again or send the link to somebody else in the industry, we encourage you to do that. Now, it was incredibly humbling for Builder Town Hall to be selected as Best Professional Development Series and win the Gold Award at the Nationals that just occurred. And it was humbling because we were in a category of all winners. Every single series, podcast, webinar that was put forward as a silver finalist was a winner and could have easily been recognized as the gold. So we applaud and appreciate what the others in this category have done to improve all of our skills, all of our knowledge, and share that information amongst all of us. So we're just very grateful. We also want to say some special thank yous to a few individuals that were willing to give a testimonial on our behalf as part of our submission for Best Professional Development Series. So Kevin McNulty, President of Lifestyle Home Builders, I see you, thank you. Laura Hanson, Marketing Manager at New Tradition Homes, thank you. Trey Lewis, VP of Sales and Marketing, Old South Home Builders, thank you. Cindy Plackmeyer, Corporate Director of Sales and Branding, DRB Group, thank you. And Molly Elkman, President of Group 2 Advertising, thank you. So we want to just appreciate all of our fans that helped us achieve such a fine recognition. I feel like, all right, I'm going to transition, I apologize. February was a blur. Does anybody else feel like that? I am exhausted. And I think you're exhausted too. And that was part of the reason I pushed so hard for people to attend today, because I feel like we need to be together. We were together in January, 1st of February, for the Builder Show, but it's been a month since we've been together. And a lot of you didn't get to go to the Builder Show. So we needed each other today to get re-energized and kind of refocused. My job at Meredith Communications is the Chief Digital Marketing Strategist. And while Meredith Communications does Builder Town Hall, and I do speaking events and things, I'm afraid sometimes our digital marketing services get overshadowed by my gigantic personality. We have a team of 10 and we kill it every single day for our clients. And as I went through February, it was just completely exhausting. I felt like a traffic cop standing in the middle of a four-way stop full of home buyers blowing the stop signs and going, stop, go, stop, go. And of course, I mean that figuratively, but basically the idea is, every single day was stop these 3 campaigns, all of them sold out. Start these 3 campaigns, these are coming soon. These ones are up 100 grand, edit those banners. It was like stop, go. And we were all just trying to hold the line and keep it together. It was insane. I do have real quick 3 numbers in your Google Analytics that I want to cover, 3 numbers you may not be monitoring that you should be monitoring right now. And these 3 things are things we're doing in our monthly calls with our clients. First of all, are you looking at your new versus returning? New versus returning. Ideally, we'd like to see a 50-50, 60-40, 60% new, 40% returning. Some of you are going to be a little upside down on that, perhaps because you don't have very much that's available on your website, and that will definitely hurt you on the returning percentage. But we don't want to get so lopsided that we're, say, 80% new, 20% returning, because when we do that, what's happening is people aren't finding your content valuable enough to come back. And we want to try to avoid that. So even if most of your neighborhoods are gone and you've only got a couple coming soon, we've still got to do blogging or whatever else it takes to build up content so we get that nice percentage of new versus returning. So you need to be looking at that. Second of all, make sure you're looking at the bounce rate at the page level. Bounce rate at the page level. So what I mean by that is we don't really pay attention to total site bounce rate much anymore. We look at each individual, say, community page or floor plan detail page, quick move in, haha, what's that page? We typically look at down at the page level, what is the bounce rate to that page? Want to stay in the 60 to 70% range if possible. It'll be higher if you have digital ads going to that page, but if your community detail pages, your floor plan detail pages are in a range, again, of 60, 70% bounce rate, they're averaging a minute, minute and a half. You can add another minute if you have an interactive tool or video on the page. That's going to serve you well. And third, are you looking at your location report in Google Analytics? You'll find that in the audience section under geo. I find that interesting because sometimes you will find a hidden market of migration that's a pocket of interest that you didn't know were your future customers. You may look at it and you'll see that it's mostly what you expected, but sometimes you get a nice little surprise. And so then you can do a special Google ad in audience geo-targeted campaign straight to that location and really hit people that are interested in migrating to you and into your area. All right, so those are my 3 numbers you may not be monitoring, but you should be. And with that, we're going to transition here in a minute to our first interview. So Lisa, come on in. You are more than welcome. There we go. Unmute. Perfect. It's like you've done this before.
We try.
We try, right? So for those of you who aren't familiar, which I don't think that would be anyone, but just in case, Lisa and Shane Parrish are the proud owner and operators of Team PMP, Peter Mayer Productions. And they are the designers, organizers, operators, managers, I don't know, even all the ers that you are, but they are behind the Nationals Gala. So if you attend that event, if you submit for an award at that event, this is who's behind the scenes making it all so lovely and wonderful. Welcome to Town Hall.
Thank you so much for having me. And it's wonderful to be here. And congratulations, Meredith, on your victory.
Thank you. Thank you. Very surprised, but very appreciative for sure.
I will say it was one of the most competitive categories in the entire competition. So kudos.
Yeah. And that's why I said every one of those silver finalists could have been the gold award winner, and deservedly so. That's how amazing the various podcasts and webinar series in that group were. And so we were very honored. So Lisa, how long have you been producing this event? And many others like it around the country. Yeah.
Yeah. So 33 years in the industry, 26 years managing and administering the nationals for NAHB. So yes, it's been, I started when I was 2.
Okay. Right. Me too. Clearly. So now over the years, and thinking mostly about this past year of judging of our current gold award winners, what trends, what stood out to you that you were like, the judges keep saying that, or I keep seeing them select, XYZ. What from your vantage point in the room did you observe?
This year it was about seeing the folks who took in 2020 what became a solution to a problem. Now those elements becoming part of our daily and best practices. Those people who have embraced the change, who have, we've gone from the pivot and the solutions to this is now just the natural way of progressing and doing business. So that virtual sales process, which is now just a great way of going through your program, your sales program, those online solutions, the customer service and experience, obviously the design that has evolved, now that we see in design, everybody having a home office, a Zoom room, or some sort of space where some self-care is definitely became a trend for what we saw on screen.
And if you think about the awards, any of the years or this past one, was there something that the judges commented that's new or that's exciting or, that made us really go, anything come to mind?
There's so many solutions. I think what it was is the folks who came up with and crafted great ways to deal with the influx of everything that they're doing and managing. So it was whether or not it was supporting your team member, or if it was coming up with a way to just manage everything that's overwhelming us. I can't come up with some of the more
right.
pinpointed, but it was really, it was trying to come to a way of figuring out, hey, this is a time period right now that we're in that is not going to stay forever. And so it was also figuring out how we're learning and what we're learning today that we're going to take into what's to come. And so I think that did start to shine through, especially with our sales teams, because they understand that, yeah, this is a blip. This is a really sweet spot, but this is not normal.
And we've seen, the year that I was there with you, Carrie, Angela as well, what judges seem to gravitate towards is creativity.
100%.
Because there's so many entries. And in one category, best brochure, there could be 50 of them on a table that we're reviewing, and all of them are beautiful and well done and hopefully for the right target market. But it's always for competition, winning an award, so to speak. If that's the goal for you and you want to submit something, you're looking for something that really stands out in a sea of sameness. What stands out in a good way, right?
For sure. So you're exactly right. When you're overwhelmed with everything, we always like to say somebody doing their job earns a paycheck. Somebody doing something special earns an award. And so that's the key to all of this. And what you have to explain to the judges, because everybody's doing something beautiful, okay, or something very well. What we need to do is explain what we did and how we did it and why we did it and what the result was. Yes. That, I think, is the key to good entries, is giving the information to the judging panel in an easy way for them to digest it. Here's what we were doing. Here's why we did it. Here was the strategy behind it. And here were the results. And that is the key to any winning award. It really is explaining what you were trying to accomplish.
Yeah. So we're basically talking about storytelling, but storytelling from a place of this is what it was, this is how we fixed it or changed it or adapted to it, and this is what is now. And when you can tell that creatively, of course, with beautiful visuals, I also noticed that a lot of entries, if they had documented quantifiable results, that seemed to make a big difference, because it's hard just subjectively. You're judging, let's say, best website, and one person is going to gravitate towards one design, one person is going to gravitate to another. But if they go, here are metrics of how this and what it's done, that says a lot more.
Absolutely. Giving the details of, we added these tools, or we added this element, and this is why we did it, and this is how it helped us, or it enhanced, or it created something different, or set us apart, is how you come to learn how things are working. So yeah, metrics and solutions and the story are really what set them apart.
Yeah. So one of the challenges is for us marketing folks, we sort of usually end up waiting to start working on these until right before the deadline. And then it's harder to really put thought into it and do the storytelling. So of course, I think your company, for those of you that are listening, your companies would benefit from the PR of winning an award like a nationals award. And it's a worthy goal for you. And so I would just say create a little more time and give yourself a little more breathing room to work on those submissions.
You need to approach your submissions just as though you were approaching your marketing program to sell to a consumer. You're basically selling your company, your entrant, your candidate, whatever you're submitting to the judges, just as though you were submitting your community for consideration to a consumer. So you're exactly right. It can't be a throwaway. You can't do it at the last minute. It's like doing your homework the night before and getting a C. You can't expect you're gonna win if you do it at the last second. Now that being said, some people are pocket and they can pull it out. But yeah, definitely having that advantage of taking your time, having someone else read the statement, saying, hey, listen, we missed some of these notes. Those are always really good best practices in helping it. But yeah, approaching it as a marketing program is definitely it. Remember, the Academy Awards, the reason we have the Academy Awards is not so that we can watch all those people on the red carpet. It's so that all of us want to go see that movie.
That's right. It's a giant marketing machine, and it's definitely worked. I mean, I've had years where I went and saw all the best picture nominees, but there's a couple of them weren't movies I would normally watch, but I watched them because they were up for best picture. And if they won, I wanted to know why. I wanted to make my own decision if I liked it or not.
And how many people have added it to their resume that they were an award finalist or award winner? And that does elevate the fact that that person is an expert in their field, has put themselves out there, and it really does elevate them in the status in our industry, in their profession, and moving forward in their career.
So what do you think? We've been talking mostly about the marketing categories, I think in the product categories, but what about the people categories? Rookie salesperson of the year, OSC of the year, like what do you see in those entries that seems to make a difference?
It's all about professionalism, problem solving, being the best, not only for their company, but also for their consumer, really finding that balance of doing the right thing. And I think it's that balance of trying to figure out how to manage the current situations that we're in. Those folks who, can figure out how to deal with and manage the stress that we're currently living through. So you saw some incredible, talented folks who just really rose above and really came up with great solutions. Our rookie this year, Manny Bravo, God, I love his name. He sold Vans the shoes, the skateboarder shoes.
I love those shoes.
He was selling Vans at a Vans store a year ago, and now he's a rookie sales professional, not only in Southern California, but he took his entry and won at the Nationals. So that just proves if you're a great salesperson, it shines through. And he also had a fantastic management team who helped to guide him and mentor him. And I guess that really is the one thing that we saw is everyone supporting each other and getting through it.
Yeah. I mean, that was a big push behind Builder Town Hall. That was why we started this. You were on very early on when we were going live streaming on a weekly basis. I mean, it is very cool and rewarding to be part of an industry that will band together. If somebody shows the way, they will help each other, and they do that through being part of the Sales and Marketing Council at your local home builder association. They can do that by coming to the builder show, entering the nationals, serving on a council or committee. I mean, there's a lot of ways for you to plug in and feel that sense of tribe. But that's really what happened. And you're saying that even shined through into entries and who eventually won in each category.
Absolutely. Professional development, continuing education, supporting each other is absolutely key to our industry. You know, as we think about it, our industry is a very big industry, but it's also a very small industry.
Oh.
It really is.
Yeah.
And those who help others, you know, as you help others, you get help in return. So you saw that for sure. And you're exactly right. Thank goodness for you and your fellow honorees in your category for professional development, because that's just it. You gave to us where we couldn't find that information as we normally would from our local HBAs or sales and marketing councils, because we couldn't go out. So you continue to feed us with knowledge so that we could continue to advance our professionalism.
Ken, I just saw your comment in chat. It's so good. Ken Gazella, we're glad you're here. Welcome. He typed in chat, great companies and leaders understand we are in the people business, not the building business. Right. I think that's a great quote. And so you're saying that attitude quantified in a submission for sales leader of the year, marketing manager, really, that's what shined through.
We sell homes to families and humans. We do not sell widgets. And so the folks who show that, they shine through.
Okay. Well, I know that you're a busy lady and you have judging going on right now. Yeah. What are you up to today? What are you working on?
So we just came home from the Phoenix MAME Awards, and today we are interviewing over 80 professionals from around the country via Zoom to determine the winners for their professional achievements. So we're running to the next one, but it's great. And of our 18 local awards programs, those folks all roll up into the nationals. You can take your local entry and you can roll it right into the nationals, which makes it incredible. It's an incredible practice because you only have to submit once and you can have double the exposure. So today we're in Phoenix, and I am thrilled to go see those folks and hear all of the wonderful things that they're doing. Thank you, Meredith, for having me, and congratulations again. And thank you for what you do for our industry.
Yeah, well, right back at you. You guys, both you and Shane, have contributed so much of your time and energy. Your dad paved the way with this company and with this event, and you followed right in the footsteps, and you're off and running. So thank you so much for being with us today. We appreciate you. I'll invite Gina and Rachel to come on, and Lisa, we will let you get to work. Bye. So, okay, as we move into our next segment, thank you again, Lisa, for joining us. You know, without them, there would be no nationals. There would be no 18 local award programs. So we appreciate all that you do and your team very, very much. I'll tell you, Rachel and Gina, when I judged, I want to say it was 2018 or 2019, I judged with Lisa. It was a masterclass in sales and marketing for new homes. If anybody attending today ever gets the call, hey, can you give up 4 days and come to California and look at 1,300 entries in 4 days? It's a lot of work, but it is absolutely a masterclass. I've never learned so much from doing anything ever. So I highly recommend it. Just immerse yourself in it. So joining me now is Rachel Starratt from Red Door Homes of the Carolinas, and she has a long title, a good one, online marketing and customer experience manager, online sales, marketing and customer experience manager. And Gina is the executive VP of marketing. Gina works with Thomas James Homes, and Rachel, as I said, is at Red Door Homes of the Carolinas. Welcome, ladies.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So just to recap all your wonderful success for everybody, Gina needed a wheelbarrow to get all their awards home because they were awarded at this past nationals 2 gold and 6 silver awards, which is incredible. Amazing. So 8 awards total.
We're very grateful.
Right? The 2 gold awards were for best overall advertising campaign and best realtor broker program, I believe.
Correct.
Okay. And Rachel, you guys did an unbelievable thing. You're a twofer, a two-timer winner, right? For Best Online Sales Counselor Team, which is, I'm so happy they created that category. And you just up and won it 2 years in a row.
We are passionate about online sales, that's for sure.
As you should be, as you should be. So as you were listening, either one of you, as you were listening to Lisa and I talk, what was your experience in preparing? I don't know if you all were involved in the preparation of submissions or, you know, in working on how you wanted to present yourselves in your submission.
In my opinion, it takes a village to pull this stuff together, right? Like,
Yes.
you know, you've got your creative team, you've got your PR support, and you've got your internal team that all come together. Everybody's got a little different opinion about what's special about what, you know, you decide to share with nationals. And so incorporating all of that passion into a submittal form is difficult, but it's also fun, and it really brings our team together every year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun putting it together. I mean, really, I can't take the credit. It was 100% my team. I'm leading them and really encouraged them for quite a while that we really needed to submit. And I knew that we had a great platform. But we got the whole company involved with our submission, from really the owner to our on-site sales, builders. I mean, we all came together just to show our support for our passion for online sales. And so that was really fun. It took a lot of work and a lot of, you know, kind of, can you send me your submission? Can you send me your contribution? So we all kind of worked together, and that was really the best part. The whole company came together to support them.
That's amazing. I love that. That shows that your culture is one that appreciates sales and marketing, which isn't always the case and makes our jobs very difficult when we're working for those folks. Rachel, what do you think, if you think about your team, and what do you think makes them special? Or was gold, like, what made you think this is gold award worthy? Let's give it a try.
It really has to be, I mean, just the individuals, like how we all work together, how much we genuinely care about each other. But, you know, I think the real differentiator is the passion that each individual person has on our team for our whole customer experience, and how we're involved in really just past online sales. You know, we want to know what's happening with that customer after their initial appointment and how their experience was. You know, we want to hear from the builders who are building their home. And it really is just a genuine care and passion, and customer experiences, you know, the number one thing that we focus on in the company. And that starts most importantly with online sales. And so, you know, we talked a lot in our submission about just the passion that we have as a company and a team for relationships, and how the relationships we've built internally impact our customers and their experience.
Gina, how about you? What stood out to you about, let's start with best overall advertising campaign. Like, what kind of made you look at it and go, yeah, this is special, this is unique, different? Share with us a little bit of history on that.
So both of these awards are actually really special to us. Thomas James Homes has been building homes since 2006, but we really didn't have a consumer-facing brand until the middle of 2019. The team at Trust Creative has been a huge part of our success, but also it's the passion of our team too. You know, one of our core values is to treat people like family, and so everybody's engaged up to their eyeballs in what's going on. The business model itself relies so importantly on the agents who bring us our listings. We are a single lot new home replacement builder, meaning we identify neighborhoods that are highly desired by consumers, but the housing stock is really old and doesn't really suit the way people live today. And so we're buying older homes and revitalizing neighborhoods with new homes that fit the way people live and provide them, you know, another alternative. It's been really well received, but it doesn't happen without our realtors. And so we are, I mean, that was a really poignant win for us. And it's been celebrated at all levels. We even did a breakfast for all of our operation teams, just to let them know that this high five is not just about what marketing is doing. You know, the guys on the ground, the boots on the ground are making as big a difference with our agents, with our homeowners, and the people we're building for.
So it's very interesting to me that what I'm hearing from both of you is an overall culture that is, one, customer experience focused, but also employee experience focused, meaning that you care for each other and that you take care of each other and you share wins across all areas when they happen.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know that I expected to hear that as the answer, to be honest. I mean, I was thinking, well, it's because this one had a cool graphic design. This one, we took a risk with this image, or like, I was thinking much more tactical, and I'm loving the bigger picture that you're giving all of us.
Well, I think it's important to just always kind of take that gut check and remind yourself how empowered consumers are today. They don't want to be talked to, they want to have a discussion, and they want to absorb intelligence on their own terms, in their own way. And so our job's gotten a lot more difficult, I think, in being able to support their needs in ways that, we didn't always do.
Absolutely. And it's interesting to me that you say you didn't really have a brand, like a solid brand voice, brand message till mid 2019, because I got to tell you, in reviewing both of your websites for today's call, you both tell your story very clearly, very concisely. I understood exactly what you were doing, and that is not always easy for an on your lot or our lot builder business model. We have several.
Some effort.
Yeah, we have several build on your lot digital marketing clients, and they're some of our bigger challenges, right? To get that into a consumable package something online isn't, it's a challenge, a good one.
I view our job. Oh, go ahead, Rachel. Sorry.
I was going to say, when Lisa was mentioning about doing the judging and that you're looking for something that really stands out and is unique, I think our online team stands out as different because how we operate as a larger team. So we have more people on our team than most other teams would have for the amount of leads that we service. And we do that intentionally so that we can, on the front end, educate about on your lot and have time for longer conversations, a better experience, more education. And so that's really unique from what we've noticed with other on your lot builders with who build similar numbers of homes per year. Just a little bit different, but our website is the same. We try and educate, as you're saying. It's very difficult to do. The challenge.
Yeah, it's not easy. Gina, you were going to comment on that.
I think it's been an interesting, I've been blessed to be part of this industry for about 30 years myself. And I think this has been one of the most exciting, fun challenges because, as a home builder with a broader reach at a track build out kind of environment, building trust isn't as difficult because there's a lot to see and a lot to experience, and the proof's in the pudding, right? But when you're a single lot, home builder for people, that trust factor becomes a bigger opportunity to use in your favor. And it's a challenge, but it's a fun challenge to build off of, to get people comfortable, to empower your sales teams to own it and know that, they've got the team behind them that's there to pick up the pieces when we do falter a little bit. And it's been really rewarding.
One thing I noticed for both of you is, and a word that kept popping up in my mind was disciplined. Rachel, in your case, there has to be a certain amount of defining, these are our KPIs for our online sales team. And these are the things, accountability. That's what I mean by, discipline, to follow through and do those things. How many times we want to follow up with somebody if they've ghosted us, to how responsive we want to be with voicemail. Talk to us a little bit about some of the things you measure to ensure everybody's on the same page.
It's been, I would say, in this market more challenging with that because, on your lot, we have a much longer lead time from the time we get the lead to when it becomes hopefully a purchase agreement for us. What we're finding in this market, though, is with the amount of price increases, a lot of our pipeline is just being pushed out. So, what we're looking at doing now is trying to work on segmenting our database, really being transparent with people about what's going on in the market and, with price increases, and still trying to nurture along people who may even in the future want us to let them know if we do have a price decrease, for example. But in our business on your lot, we put a lot of measure on prospecting. And so reaching out to leads who have not been active in a while and continuing a relationship or conversation, or sending out a mass mail that asks the question, do you still want to hear from me? And so we have a certain amount of calls, I guess, per person that we're looking to make that aren't active calls. So we are prospecting calls, so someone who's not currently active. But that's definitely a way that we measure that we're still kind of touching those people who, it could be 3 years ago. We get people that come back from 2015 that originally inquired with us and are now ready to build. So it's a little more challenging now in this market. Like I said, we're rebuilding our pipeline. But I would say prospecting is a big thing that we measure, and also the amount of touch points that we have within that 30-day window, and just keeping the conversations and the contacts high, specifically in the first 7 days, but also within the first 30 days.
Okay, so you're looking at number of touches, you're looking at number of phone calls, and these are outbound. These aren't just reacting to what comes in. These
100%.
are leads that aren't active with you in a current conversation. Okay. Gina, before I ask you the same question, but with a marketing spin, I do want to say, Rachel mentioned a couple of times in this market, and I literally want to tell everybody that's here, this market is like a 30-day window, maybe 21, before this market becomes the next market. And I'm particularly interested in, obviously, what's happening in world events, what's happening in inflation and gas prices. I think with all of that as a huge question mark, you're basically should be making decisions for this market every 30 days, which is really hard for those of us that like to plan a year and ahead with our marketing, but we can't. So to Rachel's point, you've got to keep your foot on the gas as far as if you're running digital ads, if you're doing SEO, if you're updating the website, if you're whatever marketing tools you use in your toolbox, keep your foot on the gas. This thing could take a left turn and be the next market at any moment. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. Comment in chat. I would love to, hear from you. Angela's got, a link. Ali Wolf, the chief economist at Zonda, put out an article this week about the invasion, Russia invading Ukraine, and what she thinks, what impacts it's going to have. I also posted that in our Facebook group, so that could be a resource for you. But I'm just saying broadly, keep going. Not only to Rachel's point about half of your database is at a lower price point than where you are now anyway. And I say half roughly, it could be majority of them. So you've got to get new people in your pipeline, but also because we just really don't know what's coming.
Well, I think, part of the challenge we're all having is there's such little inventory in the markets, right? So there's a lot of noise that you've got to break through.
Yes.
And it's got to be legitimate. Nobody wants to play the sales game, right? Everybody wants to just understand what their options are and how you can fulfill their needs more than anything.
Yeah.
I also think, we always take, we're monthly analytics, junkies, and those are real strategy meetings as opposed to just looking at each other and high-fiving for the wins.
I knew I liked you guys. I knew it. That's so awesome.
We're also taking a look at what's happening in the market and the fact that, we can solve for people. Their experience in, our biggest competition is resales, right? And their experience and what's on the market and in the MLS and on Zillow and Redfin and all of those friends is it's pretty awful, right? They're fighting, they're raising prices on their own. They don't even understand if that the house is going to be the value they should be paying, because it's, you know, there's such limited choices. And so we flipped that a little bit and started selling at least the inventory that we have, that Thomas James Homes owns and builds on, and offering those earlier as a solution for somebody in the market that would love to say, you know, here's what we have to offer today. You have the opportunity to buy this now, lock in your price upon contract, and we'll build it for you. You won't have to fight any of that, you know, and a lot of that just comes from that, again, that trust building and conversation that you're having as your, you know, your CRM systems are hard at work and your online sales teams. And, you know, we even have home buyer specialists on the ground that support our listing agents.
Wow. Well, as Angela and Carrie come in to join the conversation, Gina, I do want to ask you about the discipline question, because one of the things I observed in looking at your award-winning entry and your website is I saw a very disciplined design as well as messaging. And it's so easy for us to clutter our visual design work or our websites with buttons and stripes and stars and call outs and all this stuff. And eventually it just becomes a hot mess. Any tips on how you guys go about being so disciplined with your look and feel?
I think there's a diligence to brand guidelines, and I'm sure there's people laughing right now because I'm known more for breaking rules and apologizing really well than I am for following them.
Me too.
But I think that level of disruption is important, as long as you don't damage yourself in the process, right? There's nothing wrong with trying a new idea, but new ideas can stay on brand and stay poignant, and the results are what gets spicy, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that's an excellent point. And I just encourage you, all of you, go to, Angela, is it thenationals.com? Will you?
I'll find it.
Put the link, would you please put the link into the 22 winners book? And that way people can flip through and you'll see, you know, this particular campaign that they did and some of the other award-winning campaigns, all of them, one thing they have in common is this clean, consistent brand and brand voice. And it makes you look, because it's so clean.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that, as to piggyback on that, and I think that, Gina, you talked about it, as when you're looking at that brand voice, right? And when you talk about culture, and you and Rachel did a fabulous job on that, is understanding is, how do you live your culture out loud? A lot of people keep their culture inside. How do you live it outside? Well, it's through everybody's voices, but it's also through marketing. You know, so when what you're presenting looks clean and everything like that, and when what they read and what they see ends up being what they feel, like when they get to an online sales counselor, it's like, that's just magic. They're like, oh my gosh.
But it's not just that, it's the people on the ground too, right? Like our guys on the field are just as proud of our core values. You know, we have three, we kept it really simple. Our core values are treat people like family, reduce the stress on urban living, and build homes as sanctuaries. And they're simple, they're concise, they're meaningful. And, you know, even, you know, our assistant project managers wear it and love it and live it. And, you know, they're just, it's that level of compassion we have, not only for the people that we're trying to sell to, but even the people we're building homes around, right? We're in neighborhoods where there's people next door. So that has to, you know, flow through to our neighbors at the same time. It's getting a voice out to consumers.
Yes, and your trades and your vendors. I mean, living that out loud, like I said, that then they pick it up, like they will treat your customers like you treat them. And it kind of grows. I'm seeing cultures growing organically.
And what I love, Gina, that you shared about what your values, your mission statement, it's 3 concise statements that are easy to remember and recite. even for us foggy headed middle-aged people, right? Like, and that really helps. Rachel, what are some of the values and, mission statement for Red Door?
We're a custom, affordable, on your lot builder. And so we really are in the business of providing homes to people who never imagined the ownership of a home, essentially. So, we have a lot of people come to us who maybe grew up in a double wide or living in a modular home and just never imagined that this dream of home ownership was for them. And so building a dream home is really what we are all about, and working with someone who maybe is not ready just yet, working with them and helping them along. And the day that we get to give them their keys it's really, really special. And I think everyone at the company really buys into that and believes in that. But definitely being a quality, affordable home builder and just making the dream a reality for as many people as possible. And that's why we do make our homes as affordable as we can. And in this market, it has been challenging for sure, but that definitely still is our mission and something that I know we're all very passionate about.
That's really special.
Yeah,
Angela,
that's so cool.
Yeah, Angela, I think we've all been marketed to and had a superior marketing experience. So therefore, we bought the product or the service or the brand only to experience the product and think, womp, womp, womp. You want to expand on that?
Well, I mean, I think that the experience is we make decisions based on the experience, right? We make decisions based on, and I use this example at the Builder Show of the Peloton experience, right? Peloton makes an okay bike. It is not the best bike in the world. It is not the tread is definitely not the best tread in the world. It is, but it's the community, it's the technology, it's all of those pieces mixed together that just make these raving fans, and people want to participate, and it's good enough. Right? Like this is it's good enough that people enjoy the experience. They enjoy the product and the community.
Yeah. So true. Hey, Rachel, I have to bring this up because you talked about it really well. And I know it was part of your winning entry and your team. And that's one of the things that I get asked all the time. We all get asked. Is building the customer experience, like making the customer journey better. I mean, we're getting to the point where now the next new hire in a company is going to be the customer experience person, right? Because we've got them so long. Like when you've got them a year, one person can't do it. But you gave me an aha that part of the customer experience from a company standpoint is also being aware of your prospecting and your people from 6 months ago and a year ago. Like we're telling everybody right now, hey, this is not going to be like this forever. I mean, I'm in a new big world of having salespeople go back to, remember guerrilla marketing, Meredith? Oh my God. We did some crazy blank stuff to get people, but you defining the fact that we keep in contact with people and help them stay with you that long, they're already going to have a belief system in you when they actually become a customer, which is going to make it much easier for you to build their home. So I really applaud you for prospecting, but I want everybody to know, add that into driving a customer experience early. Right?
100%. I mean, it's critical. It's key. It starts off the whole relationship. And throughout this crazy market, I've always been of the mindset of we can't stop prospecting, because it's the people that we're prospecting that are going to be coming back around when times are not so great. So we have continued that throughout the last year to 2 years, and just starting that relationship off in the right way. And then my job is to continue that relationship all the way to the end. Or at least, that experience and how we want that to go. But it starts online and it starts early for sure.
Yeah,
it does. There's this online to IRL, right, in real life bridge that they have to have. And if the CX, the customer experience online, doesn't happen well, not only from follow-up, but the point you're making, Carrie, is brilliant, that it's even prospecting, it's staying with somebody and nurturing them along. That wow has to then transition. And then the in real life experience also has to be wow.
And she has something big. She's exploding.
I am because
I
heard something at the show, at the Builders show, and it was an aha moment for me. When you think of when somebody has registered on your website so that you've got their name, think of them as a customer at that point, as opposed to a prospect. So they have made the decision to engage with you. They are a customer. So
your customer.
Yeah,
absolutely. So instead of, I mean, we fall back to prospect, and I totally get that. But I just, if we can try to change that mindset that they are a customer, they have chosen to talk with you.
They're fans.
Learn more about you.
Yeah, they're already fans on some level. They're in. You've made the cut. You're down. They've eliminated everybody else. You've made the top cut, and now the relationship goes forward. And if you speak to them in a way that makes them feel like you understand they're already a fan or a customer, then the conversation flows so much better. You assume a relationship because there is one. They've had this online relationship with you. They've been dating you. You just didn't know it from your website. And now here they are ready. You're like Match.com.
Yeah. And so many of us are trying to drive a customer experience after they've bought, considering that's when they're a customer, and maybe even after something's gone a little awry. It's like, we got to bring this person back, right?
Yeah.
If we start that much sooner with prospect, nurture, customer relationship, we got it.
Yeah,
we've got it.
You got it. Anybody that's listening that wants more on that, if you'll put your email in chat, I will send you the PDF version of both of my books, because that is the heart of what they're both about. One's a marketing book, one's a sales book, and I'm happy to send you the PDF. So, Angela, I think it's interesting how all this comes back around to relationships. We seem to land on this topic almost every time.
Yes.
But when we talk about being gold award winning worthy, it sounds to me an awful lot like the internal relationships with the peers and everybody at the company, as well as then the relationships that we form with our fans and our home buyers. That seems to kind of push it over the edge.
Well, I think too, like so many times we look at culture and we think it's a top-down push. And I think that there's opportunities at any level of an organization that you're in that you can push. Even if you're somebody in the middle, you can push up and down with just by setting an example and living it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can.
Everybody can contribute to it, and everybody can make a difference. It's, culture to me. If you know me, you know it's important. It's important, but it will dictate how you talk with, how you relate to everybody, your vendors, your partners, your customers, your buyers, everyone. And you've got to, it is. I feel it's probably the most important thing that everybody can work on moving forward.
And together, right?
Absolutely.
Meredith, one of the things that the three of us always talk about is, what is the company activity that everybody has a role in? And it's the customer experience. And oftentimes you'll hear us say things like, if you touch anything, a piece of paper from accounting, or a slotting report from construction, if you touch something that ultimately goes into that home, you have touched the customer. And I think that that's something that the three of us have valued for so long, to help companies understand how to value everybody at their company, but to give everybody the purpose and passion to do the best at what they do. Yeah.
And so that everybody knows this isn't just like, soft skills, kind of pie in the sky. This is backed by Harvard research. I didn't prepare the link for today because I didn't know we were quite going in this direction, but I will dig it out and post it in the Facebook group. There is a piece of Harvard research from several years ago, but it still rings true. And it outlines in a study that they did how employee engagement directly impacts customer experience.
Right.
And they measured it in a quantifiable way, which for a lot of you, it helps cement the overall idea that we're talking about today. Angela, were you about to say something and I interrupted you?
Well, it just, it kind of just goes back to the topic of this Builder Town Hall, was the national awards, and the importance of, and what I heard from both Gina and Rachel was just the importance of bringing the team together to contribute and to feel like being part of it goes so far. I mean, and it has the other effect too of being attractive to your like from a recruitment perspective. You're an award-winning organization, and that has appeal to people outside as well as inside.
Yeah, absolutely. Rachel and Gina, what have I not asked you about your Gold Award, or what you feel went into it, or what makes you excellent and your team excellent? What have I not asked you that you'd like to share? Either one.
You want to go first?
Go ahead, Rachel.
Oh, I was going to ask Gina if she wanted to go first. You've asked some really good questions.
Yeah,
right. I think
what
I
want
want everyone.
That.
I think what I would share, with everyone is, I again cannot take the credit for this award, but our team really is special. And when we are looking to add to the team, it's one of the biggest things for me is the right kind of culture fit, the right customer facing attitude. And we really just are genuine and believe in transparency and clarity, really creating trust. And we all, I think, just buy into, our company and our culture. And honestly, I think that's why we won.
Yeah.
That's a good reason to win.
Because there's many excellent OSC teams out there. There's some on the call right now that are great at what they do, and their numbers in this past year were just phenomenal. So it sounds like to me you had to go above the numbers to really tell a story, to be the gold finalist in the category. Gina, what about you? Anything I haven't asked, or something you really wanted to share with everybody?
No, I just think, we talk so much about culture, and, you get what you give is something I've always kind of lived by, right? So I've had an incredible opportunity to learn from some amazing people in this industry. And while it seems really big, it is really small. And so to be able to share what I've learned in my time here with others is a really important part of our company culture, and just, really just encouraging people to step up and, find out what they really love about this industry, and then jump in with both feet, because it's lots of fun.
So Gina and Rachel, I have to thank you for today for a bunch of reasons. You're gold winners, but what I really want to thank you for is and I know, and I live this and I teach it all the time, but when you get to hear it from someone else so genuinely and so heartfelt, is that like yesterday, I was helping a company get a hire for Rachel in new OSC. And I went through 6 Zooms during the day, right? And what I realize now is one of the litmus tests that I would like to hold those Zooms against when I go to my notes is, will they be a culture fit?
Oh, for sure.
Did they have something that bred passionately about that, and not just the resume, and you guys just eloquently proved it with your gold and with how you presented it today. So I thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. We always say you can teach people just about everything except how to be good people.
Yeah, right.
Right. So, we have foregone skills over people relationship in some of our hires, and it's been rewarding.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I bring all of this together, I think that's what made Builder Town Hall special, and maybe what helped it to stand out a little bit in the category that we were in. This was a group effort. This was about a team of people, Angela and Carrie primarily, but also Matt Riley for many, many town halls he was on with us. And as a team, we invited all of you to participate, and you have. And, Rachel and Gina, I can't thank you enough, because I sent you a blind email like, hey, I see what you did. I see you're a gold winner. And I really can see how unique and special your projects and submission were. And I was like, will you participate today? And without hesitation, both were like, yes, we're in. So thank you for the give back, because you're living your message, as Carrie said, out loud right now with all of us here.
It's been great to meet everybody.
Yeah, thank you. So
Yeah.
Builder Town Hall is about you, for you, and by you. It's never been about me. It's about the community that we've built together. So, please get active in the Facebook group. You're welcome to post articles or blogs or podcasts that you think would be of help to others. You're welcome to ask questions and run a poll if you want to, get in there and participate. The only thing our hard and fast rule is no selling. So nothing about your product or services, please. But if you have information for the rest of us, please share it. And then we'll see you back here the first Friday of April. I've already got the guests lined up. I'm super excited. It's going to be an amazing and fashionable conversation, but I won't tell you who with just yet. So that's a tease. So you got to stay tuned in the Facebook group and to the emails to find out who he is. All right, everybody, that's it for today from Builder Town Hall, the only live stream talk show in the industry catering to all home building industry leaders. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend, everyone.